Hello, my wonderful spirit guides. Today I'm going to be reacting to... Okay, there are many ways of saying this and I've seen many ways of it being pronounced by different people. So I don't know what it's going to be, but I can go with AUTECHRE, 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 AUTECHRE. I don't know. And apparently there's a debate amongst the group themselves, or the duo, or whatever they are. You know, they, not even like people in their like close proximity know how to say it exactly. I'm just going to say AUTECHRE or AUTECHRE. AUTECHRE. You know what, I'm going to just try and not say the name throughout the whole reaction apart from now. But anyway, it's their album Sign. And I've heard that this is very experimental, but this is also one of probably their most digestible, popular albums. So, well, I guess we'll see. I think I'm going to be in for a journey. It's going to be a very like interesting reaction, not one where I'm like hyped and up and like this. I don't think so. I think it's going to be very visual based, or it's going to be very just like calming. I might not pause a lot. I'm just going to go with it. Yeah, I'm a little nervous to get into it. Yeah, for sure, because obviously I've heard experimental stuff, but, you know, can experimental go too far where it doesn't even sound listenable anymore? Anyway, if you'd like to become a patron, please do, because it really, really helps me out, especially because YouTube is demonetizing a lot of my videos recently. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen my mini tantrum. I was like, I want to give up. I'm not going to give up. I was just having a bad day. But yeah, please come Patreon if you can. I would never be like, do it, like, because YouTube's doing this, YouTube's doing that, so you have to help me. It's never, ever like that, by the way. Anyone who supports me, I appreciate the kindness, an unreal amount. And I know that a lot of people deserve that kindness themselves who are struggling. So I would never, ever think that I'm more important than your financial status and so on like that. But if you can, that would be lovely. It's basically, the first tier is like the price of a cup of coffee a month. Second tier, doing live streams, and like some of my patrons and I, we are trying to think of themes, and one of the themes is try and make Fern cry theme. You've also got themes of like super sexy songs or like upbeat songs. Actually, one of the patrons put together an amazing list that I cannot wait to share. But yeah, so it's going to be lots of themed live streams, so much fun. But yeah, also follow me on Instagram and I shall follow you back. I post a lot of stuff on Instagram that I don't post here. So you might be interested in a little bit of extra content, and yeah, I'll follow you back if you want me to. Anyway, let's get into the actual album. All the song names seem to be a little experimental themselves, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, this part's always the annoying part. Now I've got so much hair, I have to make room for the ears. Look how red my ears are because it's so hot underneath all this hair. Okay, anyway. Okay, we are ready. I'm scared, I'm excited. Okay, first song is called M4 Lima. And it's nearly 9 minutes long. Oh, I really have to get myself into this, don't I? Alright. Also, I have heard a remix they did on Sophie's Product album. That's all I've heard from them. Ooh, it's kind of scary. Feels like reversing. What I'll say already, we're already a minute and 14 seconds in, and that felt like 10 seconds to me, quite literally. The imagery I'm already getting, which I'm so surprised it's sparking so much imagery. Actually, I do think interesting and eclectic sounds do spark the most imagery, for sure, especially with songs without words. But what I'm already seeing is someone had gone for an alien abduction and they're trying to tell like detectives about it, and it's like a movie where it's like the film starts with them in the interrogation room like wide-eyed and like it happened, you know, and then as it goes to start the story it kind of reverses, like images reverse through what happened. So basically like it would be like him getting off the ship, to him being in the ship, being probed and so on, to him being abducted but in reverse, so he's actually going back to his bed. You know, it is literally the rewind of the story. That's kind of what I'm seeing. It's very War of the Worlds, isn't it? So alien. So alien. Ooh. It's kind of beautiful. Those parts, like ethereal. What I can gather from that is like, it's almost like some sort of meditative sounds, like the synths that are like, whoa, like very ethereal and actually relaxing, but it's kind of being interrupted by these like more horrific sounds, alien sounds. And it could go one or two ways. It could be like this person, this guy that I'm imagining being, who is abducted, is having lots of procedures done to him, but the aliens are playing some sort of meditative music to like calm him. It's just to mask what's like torturous stuff is actually going on, almost like hypnotizing or brainwashing, or, you know, just keeping him in a soothed state so that maybe he won't remember clearly, or, you know, it's like their version of an anesthetic too, like masking the pain. Yeah. Wow. Something very scary about it. Like, I feel a little bit of fear. It's weird because, like, I say I feel a bit of fear, but it feels like this is something I could put on in the background and relax and actually focus and study to. However, you know, in the way it's going, the tempo, it's got something a little bit, you know, calming about it. I guess going back to that meditative part, but not just because of that, just like the rhythms, and it's nothing that gets you hyped. It's something that brings you down. It's just a very moving piece. It's just it has motion that isn't too invasive, apart from the fact that it actually is instilling a lot of fear, a lot of horror. Like when you watch a horror movie and, you know, if you watch it on silent, you don't feel the same fear, because the music always enhances it. And it is like, this could definitely be in some sort of horror movie. It should be. Especially the way like some of the instruments surge forward like that. You just don't know what to expect, even though every part is unexpected. I was just sitting here thinking, like, I wish you could be in my mind. I just wish I could like implant you into my brain. I know I explain what I see, but it will literally never be quite what I see. And like, there is something deeply unsatisfying about that. There is something so deeply dissatisfying about that, truly. Like, because what I see is inexplainable, and this isn't anything to do with storyline here. This is like the actual imagery of each sound, like what colour, what shape, what like pattern is happening, where it's being placed. Like, I fucking wish I could explain it, and I think that's why, like, having synesthesia, great and all. I recently found out my brother was actually diagnosed with synesthesia as well. I don't know how I didn't know. I guess we just both didn't talk about it. We were at a bar the other day at an open mic night, and he goes, "Oh, you know, I can really hear like snow in this song." And I went, "Oh, do you have synesthesia?" He's like, "Yeah, I was diagnosed with it." And I was like, I just didn't even ever know, but it makes sense, right? And me and him have the same dad as well. So, and I've got two other siblings that have a different dad. So no, I thought that was quite interesting. I bet my dad has it. But yeah, it's like amazing to experience, but it's also very frustrating because it's kind of lonely. But I can try and describe, but I can see like a very black background, black as in when you know, the TV is on standby, kind of black. And of course I see industrial things, you know, this is an industrial sound. I could see metal and clanging in that way, but there's also, you know, a mixture of shapes and colours, and they're animated. It's like a one jong sound could look more solid at the front and then go, you know, more faded, and it's like that. It's not an object I've seen in my life, but I could see it as a pattern in my mind. And with this type of music, of course, it's sparking off everywhere. I'm not even, you know, moving much. I'm just seeing shit. It's like I'm in a weird vision. See a lot of, but with this boom, boom, boom sort of sounds, a bit like an Arca song from one of her 4 albums. I think it might have been Lena. I can't remember what song it was, but it had that hospital kind of sound. It just makes me think of like a hospital. And again, it kind of makes sense tying into my alien story. Ooh. It's a bit sinister there. Ah! So scary. Gives me shivers. Feels like they're extracting something. Something's being sucked. Pulled. I don't know what. It just has a very pulling sensation. Soul sucking. But I can see flesh. Flesh being like the you know, big like tweeds of things just pulling on flesh. Like pulling it apart. I know that's a bit much, but that's what I see. It's not always nice. That feels like sleep. Like that little ending there felt like being put back in your bed. You know, you've been abducted and probed and tortured or experimented on at least, and this is like you've been sent back to your bed, your real bed, and just like drifting off into sleep as if nothing ever happened. I'm going to share something with you now, and you can think I'm crazy all you want. Maybe I am, but I like a good few years ago, I really was sure that I was abducted. I was suffering with a lot of sleep paralysis. It got so bad, honestly, and my whole mental health wasn't very good at the time, but I was suffering badly, really badly. This was the start of many sleep paralysis to come. But this one, like, as I was falling asleep, I heard sharp, metallic sort of sounds, like buzzing, alien, like sounds in my ear. It felt, and it wasn't like, you know, you imagine like a sound you can imagine. It was like it was there. It was like right in my ear, and it was so fucking loud. It was unreal. And then like I was trying to wake up, of course, but then I could feel like hands under my flesh, in my ribs, just like tickling under my ribs, where it felt like, and then I started laughing, even though I was scared. I was laughing because I was being tickled. And I woke up with like a really sharp pain in my neck. That wouldn't go away for a few days, but no trace of anything though. Anyway, I just was convinced I was abducted. Like, I was very vulnerable at the time, so I can understand why I would have gone there in my mind. I'm also someone that likes to find reason in everything. Why would this happen? Why would that happen? It has to be something more. You know, I'm very creative in that way, and my creativity has saved me from situations, but it's also put me in fragile, vulnerable situations. However, I remember looking into what, symptoms of being abducted, and I was fitting every single one. Like, with more like sleep paralysis to come, I was astral projecting, I was seeing numbers everywhere, and then it moved on to it being angels and demons, which I've discussed before, but not fully yet. I probably will do a full story about that one day, and just need to get around to it. It's such a heavy story and so hefty that I'm like, man, I don't know. But I don't have any trauma from it at all, actually, that whole time. That time was a trauma. And actually there's some such beautiful moments within that time that I had, psychosis or not, But anyway, yeah, I was trying to tell my partner, like, I've been abducted, I have. And he's such a skeptic. He knew I hadn't. He was just worried about me. But I remember ringing my friend and being like, I think I was abducted. And I was telling everyone. Like, I wasn't even worried to tell people that I thought that, like, because I believed it that much. Yeah, that was interesting. But hearing those sounds, I guess they instill fear in me because of that time. Not necessarily in a bad way, but just in a way that opens my mind again to, was I? Like, that's the thing with me. Like, so many things I've gone through, I end up having to be like, no, it was all my mental health, believe in science, basically. Because I can get carried away, but there'll always be that little part of me that is fantastical and that goes, but it could have been. But I try and keep that bit quite quiet. But who knows? Some people believe that, some people don't. Anyway, next song is called F7. What I thought about M4 Lima, I think I've already said. Scary, calming, interesting, alien, Next song, F7. That feels quite different. Interesting. This one already has some sort of formation to it, where, those big synths are creating some chords or giving it something stable that I'm actually already singing over it just because I feel like I can. Interesting. Ooh. A lot more emotive. The other one felt kind of void of emotion. This one feels filled with emotion. Oh, it's very beautiful. Oh. Oh. Boom. And a few detuned sounds. Ooh, those detuned sounds. Yes! I like this one a lot. This one's, this one kind of transcends everything. Like, it's so emotive. There's those little detuned moments, giving me a little bit of falling off, like a kind of falling out of emotion almost. Whenever something like that happens, like a detuned moment or something that seems not as it seems or whatever, it's almost like breaking a facade, breaking a mask or taking off a mask. Like I was talking about in the Sophie product album, there's something a little bit like under the surface, if you know what I mean, because a lot of it feels very emotional, could almost be joyous in some way. Those bright synths, they're very bright. There could be some joy there. but it's like happy, sad, like that's why it's emotional, because it's got happiness and sadness, like with the minor kind of sound, but with the bright synth. But then at a tuned moment, it's almost, if it can't, you know, if it was just happy and it's a tuning, then you'd think of there's sadness underneath it. But because it feels happy and sad, the detuning makes you think of void of emotion, numbness instead. This one's great. I actually quite like singing to this too. I feel like I can flow in any way I want to, as long as I keep an ear on the changes. Also, I hope you don't mind me singing over the top. I know a lot of you always say, oh my god, I love your singing on the songs, but I sometimes worry it might become a bit obnoxious and maybe a little too much. But at the end of the day, it's just what I do. I enjoy it that way. I like to experience sound that way. I really do like this. A lot more than the first one. This one does seem to be a popular one. I couldn't even do it as high as it went. No. Oh, see, this one also puts movement through me. That's the other thing that I can't help. Actually, the thing is, with the singing, it's a conscious decision. Obviously, I should start singing, and I know when I'm going to start singing. Sometimes there's some songs that compel me to start singing, but I can never help what it does to my body. So if I start moving my hands like that, I am just not even aware of the beginning of that starting. I just start doing it. Maybe in a past life I was a composer. I wish. This one has so much blue in it. It's very blue and white. Still the black background. Often a lot of what I see has a black background though. It feels like it's almost calming down. Yeah, it is. I love that. That's absolutely stunning. Wow. That's very beautiful. That is very beautiful ending. I really like how it actually slowed down, lowered, calmed down. There was something to say for that. I don't quite know the words, but there's something that felt like it went to the ground a little bit. It became real. It became earthly. Yeah, down to earth is actually the word for it. It was just something right about it. I also wanted to say, I don't want to pause again because I know I've been pausing a few times. I thought I wouldn't be pausing, but I've actually paused quite a lot. When I was a kid, I was just thinking about the black background thing, right? Whenever I have see colours, visions, whatever, my visions are different. When I see actual storyline based stuff, I see it as it is. But when I just focus on the colours and shapes and stuff, it's a black background usually. And I think it's very digital, a lot of it, right? And I think imagine if I was born in a time where there weren't digital stuff, right? I wonder what I'd be seeing then. Would I be seeing it as paint? You know what I mean? Would I be seeing it as paint? Because that would be very interesting. But anyway, other than that, I think when I was a kid, I you used to get if you had a computer when you were younger, and you'd put on a CD and you'd get a visualizer, and it would do lots of different crazy things, and it would go when the music pumped or whatever, and it would do some crazy images. I used to love those, and I used to watch them for hours when I listened to music. And I think that's because I really was in tune with it. And I think a lot of us would have probably loved that when we were kids, but I really felt in tune with it. I really was wow, how does it do that? How does it know? How does it be so in tune with the sound and so on like that? Same thing as, say, if you were high, you would start to see it in a way that was it's almost mind-blowing. You're wow, it's mesmerizing. But I think I really loved it so much as a kid, and now I see such things in digital ways in my brain, a lot of the artistry and colors and animations are very digital. And I wonder if that stems from loving that as a kid, or growing up in a tech world. I don't know. Sorry, this has just got me like kind of going in deep in my brain, thinking about like getting a little bit philosophical and whatever, I suppose. But anyway, that was amazing. I love that one a lot. Very blue, and then brown towards the end there. Sky and earth. Makes sense, really, doesn't it? Okay, next song is called SI00. Psi00. Ooh, droplets. Those little ones in the background, that gives this like watery like space, like lake I'm seeing, so much length. It's making it really huge. And the ones in the background is like a very like blue, sparkly area. The ones in the front is more of a dark blue, as if there's like luminescence in the water further away. It's almost like a time lapse too. I'm seeing very strange things here. Okay, I'm also seeing, very different to the lake I was seeing, I'm seeing like a jug of water, like a water filter. Right, and the water filter has been left overnight, and I'm seeing it drip, you know, through the filter. And then I'm also seeing like a time lapse of this, right? So then I'm also seeing the water form little bubbles. You know, when water's been there for a while, little bubbles will form in the water. So I'm actually seeing those form in a time lapse as well. And the whole storyline is someone put it out at night, and then they partied. Like they had a big party, and then it's a time lapse of that water setting, and then when they wake up, they'll be able to drink the water, but it's like they've woken up and the water's not great anymore. Like it's almost gone to waste in a weird way, because they've partied so long. That's such a that is a weird one, but that is literally what I'm getting. I suppose the party comes from the beat there. That's giving me the emotion of a party, yeah. Sometimes I do not know how to understand what I say, but... Not lava lamps too. See a lava lamp? Oh! This is the realisation of, my water's not fresh anymore. But I'm hungover and really was looking forward to that filtered water. Anger. Oh, it feels like someone desperately needing water now. And the water's taunting them. Oh my god. Maybe someone who's done a bit too much drugs. It was all fun before, but now they've, you know, gone overboard. And it's not so light and bubbly anymore. You can even like... You can almost hear it as a drip in a hospital as well. And really those dripping sounds is the drip in a time lapse. You know, trying to make someone better. But that darker synth is almost like it's not helping, but the drip's still going, but there's something a little bit, like there's going to be something quite morbid there, like maybe this person didn't survive, maybe they had a drug overdose or something, they're getting their stomach pumped and whatever, and this is a drip in their arm, and that looming feeling is the overdose. That like dark sensation is the overdose. This one is sparking unreal amounts of imagery for being something so simple. That could be a heartbeat too, beating fast and irregular. Yeah, I'm interested in this one. I wonder if the group themselves, the duo themselves, have ever have meaning behind what they make, or if it is just they find some sounds that they like and they kind of feel like sounds good and just make it, or if it does have something. behind it, because like with all art, we can all interpret it the way we want, but there is still what the art is for in the first place too. I don't know, I'm just seeing very interesting things and different meanings and so on, and I obviously am curious as to what they might have, you know, made out of it or thought when they were, before they made it. Ooh. It's like the person died. The person I was talking about in my visions, they died. They needed to, yeah. That's kind of scary, isn't it? Ah. Why did I have to put such morbid thoughts to it? I mean, it didn't have to end that way, but that's what it felt like for me. Yeah, they died. Anyway, next song is called Esque Desk. Oh, it's the funeral. No, sorry. Okay, I haven't even said anything yet, because this all feels like it's climbing up to what, you know, it should be. This will, you know, again, 1 minute and 7 seconds has passed, yet this still feels like the intro, and it still only feels like it's been 10 seconds. It feels like an introduction. It's building to something. I don't know if it will ever land on something, like ever land on a destination, or if this whole song is going to have a building kind of structure to it. Because it all feels like it's ascending. It's a weird day for weather, so I have to keep adjusting the lighting. Funny, actually, talking about ascending, going off my storyline. Oh, from before, about that person dying from a drug overdose, sort of thing. This could be the soul ascending out of the body, sort of thing. Maybe this is the true beginning of the whole story. Yeah, sorry, but maybe this is the true beginning of the whole story. You know, I was talking about the alien abduction. Maybe this is the true, you know, that, okay, let me just try and tie this together. The first song, he's trying to tell the police about this alien abduction. There's a reverse cycle, right? The second song, I said it felt kind of emotive, happy, sad, but it kept falling into a numbness sort of thing. Maybe that's just how human he was, you know, a human who maybe suffered a bit of depression. Anyway, the next song, he has a party and he's partying, right? And then this whole thing of he needs water, he couldn't get it. And then overdosing and so on, ending up in the hospital. And then here is him, you know, his soul kind of coming out of his body, but maybe this is actually the moment of him being abducted. So it's actually going through the story now, one by one, like the before bits, you know what I mean? And mid bits, I don't know. I am just trying to tie something together here, but it's weird how I've even thought this far. I don't know, but this feels like a very, very slow kind of abduction. Like someone's like being like lifted. And whether that be an abduction or a soul being brought to heaven or whatever. Beautiful. What I'm seeing is beautiful. Green, blue, stars, light. I'm getting a 360 of this made-up guy with his body and his back arched, being ascended up into a UFO. and it's just spiraling around him, slow motion. The camera, if you know what I mean. He's so still. It's quite beautiful. Wow. That kind of fading out sound makes you feel like he hasn't got to his destination. It feels like he is forever ascending. Wow. Oh, that was quite something, actually. I know I sound a bit wacky. All right. But it's just who I am. Okay, next one is called O14, AU14. Good. I was just thinking, like, you know, my mind might try and connect a story here. My mind might just, like, because I've been following a story, my mind wants to go, oh, maybe this is a part, you know, more experiments. And I'm like, no, I feel like I've made that part up. And then once I, like, you know, just stop trying to think and just listen to the music, a new image will appear. And yeah, it doesn't quite follow the story, but it could do in some way. It could be another, like, back in time moment. But actually, I see a lot of office workers going to work. Like, they're all just, like, doing the mundane going to work, like, wearing their suits, holding their briefcases, very, you know, very, like, the 9 to 5 sort of feeling. That's interesting. Yeah, there is, like, very, like, mechanical. Just very, like, going to work. This is what I do. Again, void of emotion. Cut from that little bit then. Those parts. So subtle though. Maybe that's the part that's wanting more. See people typing on their computers like this. Like how my mum types. Yeah. With those little sips, like, that feels like after work, these office men going to the bar or going to a club and they're like dancing to the music, you know, they're kind of like, it's what they do. They go to work and they go and drink, you know, but they still have that like numb autopilot, like block, like boom, boom. Basically, it's all still very autopilot. There's nothing like amazing. There's nothing vibrant about it. It's just background. I can't, hard to explain. This could even be the storyline before the party. I went to work and I had a party. I went to clubbing and we went back to mine and had a party. Wow. It slowly became more meaningful towards the end, actually. Oh, this is the end, actually. Ooh. Driving away from the club. Oh, okay, there was a lot of parts in that where it got a little bit cloudy. I felt like he had taken the drug, and then there were parts where more emotion started to come through, like this drug was bring him to life a little bit from his mundaneness. And then I felt him driving away from the party. I kept getting snippets, but there's some watery sounds, and I could just see him filling up that water filter I was talking about. But it was all just like a snippet, and it's almost like he couldn't remember when he filled it up. You know what I mean? It was like, he's like, maybe I did it then, maybe I did it then, I don't know. But yeah, there was something to that towards the end that just felt very chaotic. Yeah, within the story. I'm sorry if this story isn't very interesting, but it's the one I'm getting. Okay. Next song is called Metas Form 8. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, I'm going with it. I'm going with it. This feels like we've cut straight back to the part where he's being ascended into a UFO, right? But the story's a little different. Okay, so I feel like these aliens that are, you know, there at the entrance of the UFO are bringing him in very gently. They're very attentive and they have empathy, and they are sorrowful. They feel some pain because it's like he should have died, you know, from a drug overdose, right? And I thought people are going to think he died anyway. We'll just, you know, bring his body up, whatever. That doesn't have to be logical, but maybe we can save him. I think these aliens are trying to save him. They're noticing he actually has a lot of life ahead of him, and they want to give him an interesting experience so that he can like move forward with his life. When they put him back down to earth, he can then be like, it'll give him a spark of life. Because a lot of people, when they almost die, if they survive, they try and change a lot about their life. They try and do something to make their lives better because it's such a huge experience. Like, I nearly died, like I need to make life worth living now, sort of thing. It feels like these aliens were giving him that second chance, but at this point they're very sad because he's a young guy, like, you know, and really this whole like experimentation they're doing on him is them saving him, because there's something very emotively empathetic about this sound. It does feel like an ending of something that like shouldn't have ended. Something so gentle about this. So gentle. Wow. Life. Life. Oh my God. What a burst of life. Bursting with colour. Ooh. It's like he's being returned to Earth here. It's like they've just... Oh, honestly, like, it's like, you know, they brought him in and he's all like limp and dying, and, you know, they're looking at him like, you're so young and we want to save you. And then when that hard like key press, you know what I mean, came in, it's like ding, and then there's other parts of that. It felt like this colour just bursting from the core of him, just, you know what I mean, and they're bringing him to life. And now as it kind of calms down again, bringing it down to earth, those sounds, it feels like he is actually genuinely putting back down to earth in his own bed, sort of thing. And it's so gentle still though. Wow. Whew. Feels like completion. Let's see what happens next. He's back down on Earth. We did our job. Let's see where it goes. And then the UFO leaves. It leaves, a UFO. It just went back into the night sky. I don't care if, do you know what? This story I'm coming up with now, I can't help it. It's just coming out. And it's fucking magical, right? How is this happening? Thank you to the patron who requested this. Literally thank you, because this is all I could have really wanted. It's just, you know, I've not been having a great time, and this is just so beautiful. What a lovely way to like just spend an hour, you know, an hour to 2 hours just in some sort of creative world. Just, yeah, brilliant. Thank you. And I yeah. Even if this maybe somehow ruins it for you, this is my experience. I don't think it would. I think I'm being just a little insecure because I'm really expressing myself here. And yeah, that can be a little vulnerable, of course. But anyway, next song is called Sk dot Meft 2. SCH full stop MEFD 2. Okay. I like that. It feels like an interval. Actually, yeah, this one's interesting. This one, I could see something, but again, not sure what I'm making up just to fit the story. Not sure sometimes. I have to wait and process for real, true, authentic imagery to come through. The first thought I had was like, these are detectives, police officers, being like, how did this young man disappear from a hospital bed, like vanish, and then wake up in his own bed? Sort of thing, you know what I mean? And I thought, yeah, that'll be cool to fit the storyline. And it does have a dark blue and black and white colouring to it, so you could think of police uniform, I suppose. But I was like, no, I don't know. And then I started to feel like this strange interval moment. It's like we've hit a place in the story where he's put back in his own bed, and this is like the curtains have risen, everyone go get your drinks and come back for the rest of the story in a minute. There's some sort of like waiting time here. There's a break in the story, but I don't know yet. I'm only a minute and 7 seconds once again. I keep pausing on that. This is a part when people go, wait, the aliens, they didn't hurt him? They saved him? Wait, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen when he wakes up? Is he going to remember? I really like this. It also feels like, it's so weird to pause it and then hear silence. It also feels like there's work at play while things are, you know, while something may seem dormant, there is work being done. You know what I mean? And that could be that he's asleep in his bed and this is all like the things that have been done to him, alien stuff, healing is at play. It's all constructing and building this kind of thing inside of him. But he's dormant, he's asleep, but like, you know, his body's fighting for him and whatever underneath it all. It just does feel like there's a lot of work at play. Yeah. The work is almost complete. Or the interval is almost over. Whatever way you want to look at it. Ooh. oh, the work's done, or the interval's over, whatever. But like that, yeah, that feels like wake up now, like it's time for him to wake up. I wonder if this sound will connect the story anymore, or if it will throw it completely off track. But interesting. Okay, next song is called GR4. I'm not sure what I think yet, apart from the fact that there is joy. There is joy in this. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. When I tell you, like, when the image comes, it's a surprise to me. You know, I've got so locked into this story now that I'm trying to tie things, and I'm having to battle that part of me that wants to connect and let loose and be like, no, just let it happen. And, you know, I'm having a little battle within myself, challenging but fun. And, you know, I said it's kind of joyous, and I was thinking about the guy waking up, and I was like, what's joyous about it? What's joyous? Like, is it that he's alive? Or, but I was like, nah, he's literally just eating his breakfast. There's nothing really much going on. I'm like, I'm looking at the wrong thing. It's the aliens. The joy is coming from the aliens. The aliens are up on their ship going, it worked. We saved him. And they're kind of like partying, you know, and they're really joyful, and they're feeling really happy that they saved his life. It's them that I'm looking at. Yeah, I mean, when it struck me then, that really just blew my mind a little bit. Yeah, how funny. I am fucking weird.
We saved his life. He's alive! Yeah!
Very cool. I like that one. That was a really pretty one. I really like that one. Ooh, interesting. Very good. Okay, now let's TH red A. The red A? Thread? Threader. I'm not going to look into the titles. Let's go. What an interesting piece. It's just, wow. Okay, there's some bulk. Huh. Yeah, that's it. This feels like time has passed, right? And this guy, you know, he's alive, he's living, he's alive and well. It feels like he is doing a bit of a Spider-Man moment when Spider-Man was trying to figure out how he became Spider-Man, and then he realizes it's from the bite, and you know, or it's when Spider-Man was like trying to draw his costume, that kind of time lapse of like thinking, why Spider-Man? I swear I talk about Spider-Man in nearly every video. I love Spider-Man, but yeah, this feels like this guy is going. He's been living his life normally, and he's been alive, and like, you know, the aliens were partying, but time has passed since then, and now he's in a place where he's like, what happened to me? I was meant to die that night, but I keep having this weird memory of a dream of being abducted by aliens, and this is him trying to be like, figure it out, trying to remember. He's like, you know, the aliens will probably want him to just go about his life and not remember it, but he's like, something happened to me, and this is him trying to figure it out. I could feel that. Yeah, I didn't feel it until that darker synth came in. But that gave me some like brooding energy. Slight memories. that like alien sound. It's almost like a memory. He's like, I remember this alien thing happening. Some of those alien sounds sound like from the first song. Really feels like he's piecing things together. This is quite, this bit, joyous. He's like, yes, I remember. I love, like, I was just about to say, I wonder if he knows that they saved him, or does he think that they tried to do something weird to him? I wonder. I love how I'm wondering what he thinks, even though I'm making this up. Like, literally, I was like, I wonder if he knows that they tried to save him, or is he just happy he remembers, or is he happy because they saved him? What does he remember? Like, what parts is he remembering? I literally made the story up. I get to create what he remembers, but I'm here wondering. Ah, okay. Because this feels happy. I suppose this is telling the story for me. We're connected. He's really exploring his mind here, his memory. It's actually like he's gone under a self-hypnosis or something. Like he's gone, right, just lie down and try and think. You know when you lose like your car keys or you lose your phone, you go, sit down, close your eyes, retrace your steps. But it's like he's kind of laid down on his bed and he's gone, right, let's think what happened that night. And it's like he's actually imagining himself, touching the ship, the spaceship, the UFO, and feeling the metal and sensing like the smells and the sounds. These memories are kind of coming in bit by bit. Ooh. Wait. You know how in the first song I said, I think it was the first song, I said there was parts where it felt like this meditative music. Meditative. Is that even a word? Meditative or meditation? Meditative. Anyway, there's like kind of meditation music. Maybe this links to now, where this, even though it's sharper than in the first song, it sounds like it is joyous. There is something quite calm and pretty about it. It's not scary. And maybe this is him, when I said he goes out into self-hypnosis, maybe he sticks on a track on YouTube or something like, meditation music. And now he's listening to it. And he's like, and this is helping him, guide him through the experience or something. I don't know, maybe something like that. Then again, I also said about the music, the calming music in the first song, about that being something to soothe the abductee, like soothe them whilst they did all these different things on him. Maybe his memory is like very strongly remembering that tune, but it's a little bit different because memories they're not like 100%, but that's the one thing that he remembers most, this type of calming tune, and then the rest of it is kind of coming in bit by bit. I don't know, there's so many ways you could go with it, but could be. I wonder what his name is. Haven't thought of a name for him. I'm gonna call him Kyle. It could also be like an alien planet, some kind of utopia. There's something utopian about it for sure. Ooh, the way that ends is very sharp, actually. Oh, that's interesting. I don't have much thought about it, but yeah, it threw me off for sure. Okay, let's see where this goes then. We've got 2 songs left. The next song is called P-S-I-N-A-M. Piss and am. I don't know. All right. honestly thought of something way too sad to go along in this storyline. I felt like I shouldn't really tell you because it's been quite nice. The storyline's been kind of good. This part isn't. I didn't know. It just happened. Like I said, I don't control this. At least I don't feel like I do. And I'm actually a very positive person, but it's the music. The music is very influential on my brain. Okay, I'm going to say what I saw, but it's sad. You know, before I was saying it's like this utopia. What I was also thinking in the one before, but I couldn't be bothered to say it because I've just said so much already. I felt like in his hypnosis, he had gone on the ship and he'd also exited the ship but he'd come out on their planet, where he could envisage this whole utopian place. And in his memory, he's like, wow, I remember I actually went to Utopia for a little bit, like their planet for a little bit. Once I'd healed up, you know, sort of thing, or I'd seen it somehow out a window. I don't know how. I feel like he woke up from his hypnosis, remembered it all, and then he was like, I need to tell the police about this, because he was just frantic and scared. Like, he didn't, even though it wasn't a bad experience, he was like, this is like insane. Like, this really happened. I really was abducted. So he wanted to tell the police about it. Just because I don't know why. It's just part of the story. He was scared, I guess, and then he tells the police, and then the police do actually believe him, right? And then they ask the boy, where, you know, can you guide us? Can you show us how to get there? And so on like that. I guess there's some bit of storyline I can't put together right now, but because it kind of flashed forwards, right, into the future when this boy, this young lad, you know, like he's like 22 or something, he's now like 40 something, and he's looking at this wasteland, this dystopian planet, and it is where the utopian planet once was, right? And I was getting flashes of like these aliens being kind of tortured by humans, and they're trying to extract all information out of these aliens on how to heal. They want their powers of healing. They want to use the aliens' knowledge and resources for humans, because they, you know, this boy has told them, these aliens, they brought me back to life, blah, 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 blah. You know, so then the police are like, oh, show us where they live. And then, you know, so he shows them. I don't know how he does, but he does. He shows them, and then obviously the government start a war with the aliens because humanity wants what they want, wants what the aliens have. I never really explained that, but I was just trying to put it into a package. And now this older guy, you know, this boy who's now older, is looking at the dystopian wasteland. Like, you can just travel back and forth from there now. Like, it's just a thing you can do. And he's looking at it like really sad. Like, he's suddenly feeling like, they saved my life, and now I've just sent, you know, I've opened up this whole can of worms, and now the whole planet has been destroyed, and it's all, you know, he blames himself a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, sadly. You know, it's not that unique, is it? Like the storyline I've got here. It's something that's definitely been portrayed before. It's just got slightly different details. It's not unique at all, actually. But the music somehow has created this storyline for me, which I find very interesting. It's interesting how it has formed that way. I wonder what they thought when they made this. Probably not what I'm thinking. Maybe something even more like interesting. So yeah, not a lot of joy in this sound. A lot of shame, guilt, regret. Aliens. They were so much better than us, humans. feel like I'm talking in memory of them. I can see lots of humans on the planet, even though he's looking out at this dystopian planet. I can see lots of other people trying to like still like scurry like and search the planet for resources, like pulling out different little like plants and stuff like that, and whatever might be left on this dystopian planet. Oh, what a sad little moment, actually. But now it's a last song, and it's called RCAZT. Arcazed. I wonder if there's going to be something, if it's going to be dark or if it's going to be hopeful. Is there, will there be a chance for these aliens? I don't even like calling them aliens, to be honest. These extraterrestrials, these other form of life. Is there a chance for them to? Are there like a select few that can build that planet again? I don't know. I've got to wait until I hear the sound, and then I will know. I mean, that's what I hope for. I hope for some sort of happy ending, but we'll see. I'm not sure what I think yet. I can see a lot of colour and pattern, but it feels like ending credits, actually. I mean, I'm not sure if there'll be actually an end to the story here, but this feels like ending credits. This feels like this is the end of the story. No more. It's done. I hope not. I hope something comes to me because, like I said, I wanted it to be positive, but this feels actually like a sad ending. Yeah, I'm still just getting an ending credit sort of thing. There is little bits though where I'm seeing like building of life again, but that's also because I want it to be that. It's not an organic thought. Oh, we got that little like sign coming through. It's a million endings I have in my head. Damn it. Okay, what I saw for a moment there, I don't know how it ties into the story, but this could be a building of new life, we don't know. This dystopian planet, another time lapse, where I see like, every time it did like a bling, 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 like that, I saw like the sky around this dystopian planet now, like a star kind of popping into like existence, like twinkling in the sky, like, and like becoming visible as this beautiful, interesting flower is like time-lapsing, growing on the planet like this, and it's like slowly unfolding, and that's new life on the planet, of course. There's something there about that, and I do believe that the planet is gaining some sort of protection around it, so humans can't go to it. There's something, I feel like the planet itself has been blessed by something even bigger than the planet, us, life itself, whether that be God, whatever you believe in, but the planet is being blessed, like, and there's going to be some sort of karma to Earth. There's going to be karma to humanity. I don't know what that karma will be. I'll try and explain a little bit more on my other side, like, of the story of what that could be. But I see something that blessed this dystopian planet and giving it a second chance, as these extraterrestrials had given so many humans second chances through their abduction and so on like that. Anyway, this planet is being blessed, and new life is happening, and protection around the planet is happening, and there will be karma on Earth. However, I also thought the karma could be that everything that was extracted from the planet to help humans would actually make humans, you know, first of all, they'd be healed, but then they might grow some sort of like deformity in their next child, like in their child, their genetics. Their child would be like kind of half alien sort of thing. So I was seeing some sort of karma through that, like, oh, you thought that, you know, stealing from us would like better humanity, but really you'll just become us or become the thing that you hate so much, you know, which is something other than human. So I'm seeing a lot of different alternative endings, karma, reasons, vengeance, non-vengeance. Like, I don't know, there's a lot to it. I guess, I don't know, maybe there isn't a true end. But then that like heavy synth sounds like, you know, and looks like a parent giving birth to their child and then looking at it going, you know, because they've got like big alien eyes or something, like, what, why is this happening? There's some sort of like the karma as the utopia begins to grow again and is protected from humans, all the humans that stole from them are now seeing like defects in their children. Wow. 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 How somber. It's just very somber. I see a lot of realization from humanity, just like, what have we done? Regret, shame, guilt, all those things again. Bloom and gloom. Utopia begins to bloom. The earth falls into gloom and doom. Karma. That light at the end. Interesting. Wow. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so that was the album Sign by AUTECHRE. We're not doing that again. Yeah, wow, okay. Let me get my head back in the world. So, that might not be the reaction you wanted. Maybe you wanted me to talk on the music a bit more. Maybe you wanted me to, you know, but there wasn't much for me to say on the music. It's what it is. There's a lot of synth. There's a lot. It's a soundscape. You know, I can't get technical with what this is. I can't. It's a technical piece. There's so much to it that is very smart and clever. What it did for me was visionary, and I committed to that storyline and what it brought me, and I'm glad I did, because it really took me out for a little bit, but also gave me a lot of realization of like what our world is and stuff. Like, you know, maybe I can imagine something like that actually happening. Like, I can really imagine that happening. Yeah, it's not that far from the truth, is it? It's not that fantastical when you think of humanity and what we do to things, people, that and whatever that are different, you know, how we can hurt them, but how karma can come round to bite, you know. So there is something, like, there is a message there. Also, it wasn't a very unique message, to say the least. Like, this storyline has been like I said from the beginning, War of the Worlds, you know. This storyline has been told through time for so long, but I just had a few extra details, and funnily enough, like, I had to wait for the sound to hit me before I could bring the storyline. Like, I had to hear the sound, I had to let the sound create a picture before I carried on. And that's pretty incredible. It really gave me a deep dive into my own synesthesia, and it gave me a little bit of a, you know, yeah, I really just got to explore my own mind a little bit more, my imagination, a thing that we lose as we grow up. It got me to go back into it a little bit and be free, be creative, be colourful, and so on. I am like exhausted now because I've obviously just been thinking for so long, hearing this music, and it's also kind of calming in places, isn't it? I hope you enjoyed my reaction though. Yeah, let me know what you think when you hear this sort of music. Like, do you get a storyline, or do you just listen and feel? What is it that it makes you feel? Because if I didn't have such strong imagery and stuff, and when I listen to music, I'm not sure what I would think of this music, because I can't really explain it, if I'm honest. It's not like a bop, is it? It's not like a big like banger. It's not like got like lyrics or anything that helps prompt you into knowing what the song's about and so on. You have to really make up whatever it is that your mind comes to. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, I'm so tired now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed though, and yeah, thank you for watching. I've been sat here for 2 hours. But yeah, love you so much, and see you next time. Bye.